In the wake of a new movie, it's not surprising that we'd return to our favorite franchise not only in film, but through video games as well. Star Wars games have been few and far between in the last 10 years, so why not come in with a bang with a truly revolutionary game? A seamless blend of beautiful console mechanics, mixed with the subtle annoyance of mobile gaming, makes this truly a game changer. Just not the change you wanted. Hey everybody, Alex here for Nerdy Inc., coming at you with a review of Star Wars Battlefront. The last game in the series was released in 2005 in concert with Revenge of the Sith. It offered dozens of maps, several game modes, online and offline multiplayer, and a single-player campaign. Wonky AI and decades-old graphic makes the game seem out of date, but it remains a respectably immersive game to this day. Battlefront takes every aspect of that game and essentially does the opposite. With a lack of campaign or galactic conquest, the game is reduced to a simple round-by-round style of play. However, the lack of playlist-style instant action means you'll need to keep playing the same thing over and over, then move on to the next round when you get bored. This, too, is limited by how you're playing. Offline modes don't feature all kinds of gameplay. Certain modes are online only, so you'll need to log on and find a server. This lack of functionality, however, is small and could be made up for by excellent gameplay. Unfortunately, the game doesn't excel in that area either. Each game mode is essentially the same thing. Shoot to kill, non-stop. Sure, there may be drop pods to defend, heroes to protect, or waves to stave off, but every game boils down to essentially the same thing. Aerial battles, likewise, are just shooters with an extended third dimension. There's very little strategy to the game. No checkpoints to claim or manage, no flagships to sabotage, no clever ways of weakening the enemy, just wholesale slaughter. And I'm not being naive here, I know that's the point of a first-person shooter, and at the end of the day, this is a war game with sci-fi paint. The problem is that, despite having a whole universe of creative elements at the ready, the game takes little advantage of them. With the exception of AT-AT snowspeeder battles, everything in this game can be found in any other first-person shooter. Sub out some skins and sound effects, and this is no different than anything else already in the market. And that's one of the big problems here. This is just a middling first-person shooter. DICE, by their own admission, provided gamers with a shallow game, and it's clear they hoped that the Star Wars backdrop would be enough to fill in the gaps. There's no depth, there's no creativity, there's essentially no variety, but there's TIE Fighters and AT-STs and Admiral Akbar, so that's something, right? Well, unfortunately no. The underwhelming gameplay is only mildly mitigated by the familiar iconography of the Star Wars universe. Luckily, that is the one thing the game ultimately gets right. The sights, the sounds, the environment, they all scream classic Star Wars. As monotonous as the gameplay is, it's hard not to crack a smile when an X-Wing streaks across the sky firing those signature sounds. Although, when you blow part of your budget on visiting a desert to capture that desert look, it better look good. Oh, and you can't kill the Ewoks either, so, what's the point? These are all flaws of the game, from minor to major, but I haven't mentioned the principal problem. This is, in many ways, a mobile game. In a way, it's scary just how shameless the game is when it comes to DLC. It's a pay-to-play game in many regards, as the extra content, from powerful weapons to iconic skins to early map access, is ridiculous. The content-to-price ratio is unjustified in pretty much every way. I should add, before I go any further, that I got the PC version of the game on special discount and did not purchase any DLC, and I'm not buying into it later, so I can sleep at night knowing that I, at bare minimum, didn't feed that beast any more than I had to. The fact of the matter is, and Jeremy Johns put it well, the core game is incomplete, and if you want to up your stats, customize your character, or get a complete experience, you have to pay up. If you are a casual gamer, if you are a Star Wars fan looking to spend an hour or so in the universe you love, if you don't mind paying nearly $100 for a product that is inferior to its 10-year-old predecessor, then go ahead and pick up the game. It's not unpleasant to play once you get into the swing of things, and for an hour here or there, it can be fun. That's how I plan to play it, when I'm in the Star Wars mood and want to fly an X-Wing for a bit or take down an AT-AT. But that's all the game is really good for. In the meantime, you can catch me in the Commonwealth Wasteland. And unfortunately, those are our thoughts on Star Wars Battlefront. Do you have thoughts of your own? Let us know in the comments down below. And as always, for more games, comics, movies, and more, keep it right here on Nerdy Inc.